YouTube, what the hell going on, my good people? I hope y'all having a good day and a blessed day and all that other good shit that goes on in the universe. And I hope you're doing what the fuck you need to do to goddamn succeed in life. Of course. Now, anyway, we're gonna watch, today we're gonna watch goddamn something about sliding for Von. Why Lil Durk can't slide for Von? It's crazy. Why Lil Durk can't slide for Von? It's gotta be a crazy title, but hey, it is what it is. He can't slide for goddamn Von because his ass gonna be in jail. Now, I don't think goddamn he want that. That's just common sense. But anyways, let's hop to the video and see what the hell they talking about. That's just common sense. He know the police watching him. Soon as anybody died, they coming straight for him.
On November 6th, 2020, King Von and Lil Durk were as close as they come.
What made you want to sign him?
Just a real nigga, just with him. I'm saying it's my brother, twin.
King Von was once the flagship artist on Lil Durk's OTF label, and with a majority of Durk's musical catalog dedicated to mocking people he allegedly turned into a pack, it's no surprise the internet keeps ridiculing him for the fact that he hasn't gotten revenge for Von, whose life was cut short during a scuffle outside of an Atlanta hookah lounge. The phrase "slide for Von" has basically become synonymous with Lil Durk's name, despite all of his efforts to remain peaceful and address it on multiple occasions. But in a recent interview with academics, he may have suggested that he already has one-upped his opponents. It's your boy Luesta, and today we're gonna investigate why Lil Durk did not slide for Von, or at least not do any more than he already has. Cause as you may know, Lil Durk and King Von had tough lives growing up in the streets of Chicago, which is often referred to as Chirac by many drill rappers for how dangerous it can be. In 2021, Chicago, Illinois reportedly had one of the highest murder rates in the United States. Surrounded by violence and with death lurking around every corner, both Durk and Von spent their formative years being raised by a single mother, with Durk's dad getting a life sentence when Durkio was just 7 months old after he refused to snitch on Larry Hoover over a cocaine charge, while King Von's father was shot dead before he even became a teenager. And since Durk grew up in Inglewood, he had friends in the infamous Parkway Garden Projects that was located nearby, the same ones that Chief Keef first made famous when he blew up back in the early 2010s. As time went on, the area became more famously known as O-Block, a name that's closely associated with the late rapper King Von.
We out the block, it's just like how we is, where we from, we all real close, like, you see what I'm saying? So if it's just one of the guys, he just happened to be rapping, he figured out what he do, wanna do. Everybody else, as a whole, I'ma say as well, we don't know what we want to do. We finna try to be the biggest drug dealers, or we finna rob whoever got some money, or we finna finesse whoever we gotta finesse. We thinking streetwise. But he just one of the guys.
I never seen a King Von interview.
Durk often referred to Von as his baby bro because he often looked out for him and treated him just like a real brother. He helped him focus on making music and staying out of the streets where King Von was known to get into some serious trouble. However, King Von may have been a bit too much to handle. From attempting a hit at his high school prom to literally tweeting out about people he has put underneath the ground, a series of events led him to being labeled as rap's first serial killer. During his teenage years, Von was deeply involved.
Boy, I seen that video and these niggas label that man as a serial killer. It's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't watch no 3 hour. I should have, but the video actually a pretty good video. But how they labeled that man was crazy. We don't know what the hell going on. I don't be knowing how they be making these videos. Them niggas be either, well, some of that shit be on TV and some of that shit be like public knowledge. But we don't be, if you ain't really there, then you don't know what the fuck going on. But it's so easy for these niggas just get on the camera and start talking now. It's ridiculous.
Involved with O-Block and their conflict with a nearby area known as 63rd or Tukaville, which he often referred to in his music.
So I rise, hit one in his arm, hit one in his thigh. There's no lie, do it that. You say you gon' slide, you got some nerve. Yo, on a curve, but we put in work from 64 and from 65th. We not from 63rd. We hang on 64th, 65th.
Bro, they used to play that shit in the club. And nigga used to yell that shit. I'm like, bro, we don't even know where the fuck 63rd at besides Chicago. Why is niggas yelling? Why is niggas yelling this shit, man? We don't know nothing about this. We don't know nothing but let a rapper in our state with a if a rapper in our state would have dropped some shit like this. I don't know. I can't say that because I don't know. I think this year and last year we start supporting our own rappers. I listen to a lot of rappers in my city, so I used to didn't, but they actually pretty nice. You actually listen to them. I listen to them. Not all of them, but I
And on
listen to
Sissy
them.
Third over here, kind of to the left, they dirty and stuff. They be up there just doing stealing and doing all type of petty stuff. So we don't go up there with them because they be dirty.
This led him to frequently being in and out of jail for most of his adolescence, and having numerous
Damn, it's
encounters with
crazy
the
that
law,
man
evidenced
gone.
by all these mugshot photos that were taken over the years.
So this is all of King Von's mugshots ever, and we just gotta talk about it. It's the most
Damn.
devious man to ever walk planet
They
Earth.
watched that man
'Cause
grow up
why
in
the
jail.
hell do you got damn near 30 mugshots? Jit literally committed every crime known to man.
However, Vaughn decided to turn his life around after he beat a murder charge in December of 2017. Upon being released, he had a notebook full
That
of
would've
raps
had
that
you
he had
turn
written while
anybody
in
goddamn
jail.
life
And
around.
once he got home, he started dropping song after song. Not long after his release
He
from
was
prison,
working hard,
Durk
too.
recognized Vaughn's potential to make it with music and decided to sign him to his label OTF, which stands for Only the Family and is typically associated with the Black Disciples gang. But where
No, it
other
ain't.
artists sometimes
No,
sign
it
a
ain't.
rapper to
It
their
ain't talking about
imprint
gang
and
banging.
basically let them fend for themselves, Durk really put Vaughn on from the minute he joined. And immediately, we were introduced to some of his biggest tracks, like Beat That Body and Crazy Story. Both of these songs have hundreds of millions of streams across the board.
Got a
Vaughn.
drop on this flexin'. He from Tennessee, I had a thought. She be with this shit, she told me way.
And from here, everywhere Durk went, Vaughn would be by his side. He
Man,
even
I
brought
was
him
on that
along
man
to his
late.
appearance on The Breakfast Club, which led to the first viral moment between the two of them, where Durk would also show how much of a brotherly figure he was to Vaughn, after he stopped Vaughn from saying something that could have possibly got him convicted.
Shit, when you get to that line, have you ever been convicted? Have you ever been
No
arrested?
experiences doing nothing. I ain't, you know?
Word.
Overall, Durk was deeply committed to Vaughn's success. He would often collaborate on Vaughn's tracks, giving massive exposure to his own
he
fan
was
base,
learning.
and made guest
He was
appearances at
learning,
Durk's
that's
shows.
it.
While this certainly had advantages for him and his OTF label, it really seemed like Durk was just genuinely trying to help his friend achieve success and flourish. However, their collaboration, touring, and even their ability to simply spend time together were
Damn,
soon to
King
be
Von could've been
severely
some big
impacted
shit.
after they got caught by the feds in Atlanta. In February of 2019, the pair were accused of being involved in a shooting outside a bar in Atlanta, the city
Damn,
where
I
King
ain't know
Von would
that.
faithfully move to and attempt to avoid the streets, although the exact opposite would happen. As in May of that year, the two turned themselves into the cops after a warrant was issued. Once they were at the precinct, they were hit with a ton of charges from attempted murder, aggravated assault, and possession of
I don't remember
firearms.
none of this shit,
Turning to
boy.
music, Durkio pled his innocence on the song Turned Myself In, where he referenced how the state was making up lies.
Look up at the judge, can't look. Stay making up lies for sure. I'm an innocent man for sure. It is what it is for sure.
But once they were released on a bond of $300,000 each, one
Damn.
of the conditions of their
That's all they
release was
wanted?
that they weren't allowed to associate with one another, while Vaughn was placed on house
Damn, that's for see. I didn't know that. That's probably why Von wasn't there. But that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. They tell you not to associate with one another. It's crazy work. Them folks can stop you from talking to your goddamn brother. God damn. Damn. That's crazy. Don't associate with one another. It's crazy work. Damn. I ain't know them folks went to jail on some crazy shit like that.
arrest. Considering
I don't
how
think they
tight
want
they
them
were,
300.
this was a hard pill to swallow, but Vaughn remained grateful for everything Durk had done for him so far.
Yeah, so yeah, me and Durk, we only see each other like at court if we got caught or some shit.
So even when you're on tour, you can't really be around each other too much?
Nah, we can't. Nah, hell nah.
Is that strange?
lock
Like
your
just
ass
to
up.
have the court basically just saying you can't be cool with one of your best
Yeah,
friends?
because you know it's like started up for me and everything. Like people get to noticing me and shit out there. He bringing me to his interviews and pulling up a chair right here and letting me sit right there.
Right.
If he came, no jump. He'd have a chair right here for me. You be like, what the f going on?
Right.
Nah, this is my artist. I only was having shows because of Durk.
Even with obstacles
That's what's
placed
up,
in their
though.
way,
He-
Durk and Vaughn continued to deliver
shouted him out
musically.
still.
Durk scored his biggest album yet on Just Cause Y'all Waited Too, with tracks like Viral Moment, Turn Myself In, and Three-Headed Goat. Meanwhile, Vaughn dropped his debut album, Welcome to O Block, which was a massive success, peaking at number 5 on the Billboard charts. With that, it was clear that Vaughn was next up, and it was Durk who had successfully lit the way for Vaughn to become a superstar. But just a week after the project dropped, those dreams would become nothing short of a distant memory, as King Von would endure a
Damn.
hail of bullets, and Durk would be left with nothing but pain and a whole ton of pressure
I
on
know
him to
that's
seek
fucked up.
vengeance. Just as Vaughn should have been
I know that man was hurt. Then Dirt brother died and all. Boy, I know that boy was going through it. That boy was going through it. Had to be. I know that shit had to hurt. You couldn't be around this nigga. You was around the nigga. He probably all that shit probably could have been avoided if you was there. Probably, might not. Who knows? But I bet he felt like that. Maybe if we didn't go through that shit we went through, then all that shit could have been avoided. That shit crazy.
having the time of his life and putting the streets behind him, a fight with a rival MC, Quando Rondo, and his entourage broke out while the two were at a hookah lounge in Atlanta, which led to shots being fired and Von later dying from the wounds he sustained in the hospital. Over time, it would be revealed that the killer was allegedly Timothy Leaks, aka Lil Tim. To this day, he's not just alive and well, but also walking around freely for reasons we're gonna discuss in the next few chapters. Durk found out about King Von's death during an Instagram live while jamming out to music, before he finally saw what his comments were saying, and you can immediately see his mood change when he did. Left in shock, he took to IG to unveil a heartbreaking post.
Damn.
Yet, even as the grief was just beginning to set in, one of hip-hop's most infamous trolls would set the ball rolling on a campaign that would haunt Durk for the next couple of years. To preface this, it's important to note that Durk's music often targets his deceased rivals within his lyrics. For instance, in the song Back in Blood by Pooh Shiesty, Durk makes an appearance, and in his verse, he subliminally disses a man by the name of Mubu Crump.
He was dissing on my cousin, now his ass all in that wood.
By claiming that he had someone deceased because they dissed his cousin, many believe these bars are referring to Mubu Crump because not only is he a fellow rapper from his hometown of Chicago, Illinois, but he was also dissing Durk's cousin and fellow label mate OTF Nunu. Nunu was tragically shot and passed away in May of 2014, and it seemed like karma would eventually strike Mubu as his actions would backfire at him later, and he too would pass away in May of 2018 from a shootout.
Damn.
Strangely enough, Durk is somewhat admired for this, as people respect him for apparently living the life he describes in his songs. Despite his recent claim that he is not a gang member, it's fairly well known that he's been linked with the Black Disciples since he dropped out of high school. On his Wikipedia page, they have a whole section dedicated to Durk's controversies, as he has gone on to mock the demise of individuals like FBG Duck, whom he taunted in songs like Should've Ducked.
Told my PO through the gate that I get hash. She asked me how do I get, I told her hashed up.
In some cases, the beefs he became involved in have led to some of his own affiliates dying. Allegedly. Now, enter Tekashi 6ix9ine, a man who is known as hip-hop's biggest troll, who started beefing with Durk immediately upon him posting about his dead friend on Instagram, saying,
That's one person. Nusi now, Von, and you still rap, go pick up a gun. Yo, that's one person I 100% thought was not gonna make it to 2024. As much shit as that man talk, it's crazy. That what he at now, that nigga in Puerto Rico somewhere, that man's across the country now. That man is gone. He making Latino music now. Or whatever he making something. That man is gone. But that nigga there, I don't know how that nigga. I guess when they found out he was the police, so they said he had the police all around. But this nigga here, he need to be studied. Whatever he was moving, yeah, that nigga was moving.
Newski, now Von, and you still rapping. Go pick up a gun. Claiming that he needs to go pick up a gun to get revenge for Von and Newski, another affiliate of Durk's that got killed in 2014, caused a never-ending social media storm that Lil Durk still endures till this day. That's because when Von first died, he received a ton of praise from the hip-hop community, but Tekashi stuck out like a sore thumb when he decided to instead clown him for dying. It seemed really insensitive and gave cringe, edgy humor vibes, but the media would post it like crazy, hence giving him more attention. However, many believe that Tekashi kinda had a point, as Tekashi would then go on a tirade of posts, interviews, and podcasts slandering King Von's name at any given chance.
Was King Von a stand-up tour?
King Von was a get busy.
All right, so why was he lacking? Why was he lacking?
You know what?
Why was he lacking?
It doesn't matter.
He wanted to make it clear that he thought Von didn't live up to the expectations set within his music, where he would basically talk about how many bodies he has and how much of a demon he was. And since Tekashi himself was essentially blackballed by the entire music industry after he was exposed for being a fake gang member, he went all out after he found out that Durk wasn't getting the same treatment as he did. Till this day, he still pops out trying to make people realize that rappers don't really mean the words they say in their songs and that he was wrongfully blackballed. Plus, he already had plenty of smoke with Durk after he used his biggest feature ever on Drake's Laugh Now Cry Later to take shots at Tekashi snitching in court.
I'm in the trenches, relax. Can you not put that little boy in the club? Cause we do not listen to Rex.
This behavior is nothing new for 6ix9ine,
who
also beefed with Chief Keef back in the day. Even showing up to O-Block in the middle of the night to try and feed into his whole test my gangsta.
They said that nigga showed up 30 seconds, hopped his ass in that car. That shit was the funniest clip I ever seen. That nigga, that is funny. He was trolling. He was trolling. He was, boy, I would have thought somebody been touched him, but ain't nobody touched that man. That shit was crazy.
Narrative.
Block right here. This what y'all wanted me in Chicago. Block right here. I should call this
they said my nigga showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's only 10 p.m. What the fuck is that, blood?
So to see 6ix9ine throw some shade Von's way, even in death,
They said my
wouldn't be
nigga showed up 3-4
surprising.
in the
And since
morning.
then, he
Niggas
has done it
sleep.
numerous times for other rappers, including Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle, and PNB Rock. But with Von, Tekashi took it a whole step further and used his giant online platform to point out what Von's wishes were after his passing, and claimed that Durk wasn't living up to his end of the bargain.
King Von said, when I die, my niggas gonna slide every day. Cat. That shit is cat. Who slipped for King Von yet? Resting fucking pissed.
That nigga disrespectful as fuck.
Here, 6ix9ine was referring to these bars from Von's I Am What I Am song.
And if I sit down, I'm pushing the murder rate. My nigga gon' slide every day.
Tekashi pointed out that Durk
That
wasn't
nigga
actively
disrespectful
seeking
as fuck.
revenge for his fallen comrade, and went on to call him out on his song Gine for not doing anything about Von's death.
Your man got shot, he not coming back. Go get a and get some get back. You a
The simple inclusion of this Slide for Von frame on this video, which accumulated nearly 35 million views, lit the flame for fans on the internet who absolutely ran with this. At this point, Slide for Von basically became a norm to see under any of Lil Durk's posts on social media, with people till this day still asking if Durk has slid for Von. I love O-Block and Durk, but Lil Tim being alive makes them look so dumb. All of Von's songs on the album are about sliding for dead homies and being real, yet Lil Tim is still alive. Crazily, this isn't just a meme, but something that actively prevented listeners, most of whom have only seen a hood through a telescope or on a YouTube.
I was just finna say that. Most of them niggas ain't never seen a hood. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what these folks doing. They just talking on the internet. Niggas are disrespectful on the internet, so I wouldn't pay them niggas no attention, but half of them ain't never been to the hood or know what's going on in the hood. They wouldn't step foot in Chicago. And they wouldn't even go to Chicago. I'm quite sure half them people in Chicago look at this shit and laugh. Like these niggas on the internet is funny, but you shouldn't be disrespecting no dead though. That's crazy. I guess when you from that environment, then you know the difference. Like nigga, I don't glorify that shit, but yeah, I was born and raised in the projects, but I don't glorify it. It was the most funnest time in my life, but you got to move up. I guess when they get older, they'll see, but. You don't do if nobody, half the people they don't disrespect. If Von was alive, they would not be disrespecting that man. That's the crazy thing. So that's crazy.
To video from enjoying Durk's music anymore.
So you don't f with Lil Durk then? Lil Durk, he ain't slide for Von. Bro's dead. That was his homie. He ain't slide.
This nigga right here.
What does he do?
This nigga right here. Really? I don't know this man at all, but I'm saying he don't look like he was in the trenches. He might have was, but I'm saying people just be talking on the internet. It's crazy.
Basically, the people you often saw telling Durk to slide for Von are thought to be spoiled white kids who just enjoy gaslighting the drama and not understanding the severity of the situation. Because of how intertwined the streets and music are in Chicago, and the information that fans have because of things like Academics' War on Chirac series and Reddit pages, these people felt like they knew what Durk had to do if he was a true friend. And for Durk, this must have been surreal. This is a man who held Von down to the point that he gave him a record deal and let him stay independent and make more money than he ever could imagine. By signing to OTF and not letting him get tied up in a 360 deal or any other major label contractual entanglements, Durkio basically helped Von set his family up for life and still be able to provide for them even after he has sadly passed away. Still, even after everything he had done for him, these comments were everywhere. Every time Durk posted anything, you knew that there would be a subsection of fans who'd be spamming their demands for him to slide below. And over time, it clearly got to him. For example, at a show in Netherlands, Durk called a fan up who was telling him to slide for Von, just to tell him off before pushing him away.
Exactly.
At the same time, he was inheriting Von's beef and gaining new ones on his behalf. Since his death, Durk has had smoke for Quando Rondo, Lil Tim, and even Quando's own label boss, NBA Youngboy. And in the case of Youngboy, it's gotten pretty ugly with their back and forths. Thankfully, Youngboy is on house arrest, so not much has escalated on that front. But eventually, Durk had enough and had to address the whole situation on some tracks. On hearing Sirens from his 7220 album, Durk vented some frustrations, saying, "Y'all tell me slide then turn around, then have the nerve deserve to clown us. Like f them blogs, not f your dog, you dudes turned to cowards. On these bars, Durk took aim at the hypocrisy of rap fans who love to feed into the drama,
That's all they
only
doing,
to turn
trying
around
to get that
and claim
man.
that they're
Look,
stupid and that they've thrown their lives
it's
and
so
careers
crazy.
away.
If that man slide for he going to jail, then they gonna be saying he's stupid as fuck. that's the crazy thing about the internet. If that man did what the internet told him to do, the next day they go like, oh, he did it, but he dumb as hell because he locked up. Who gonna take care of the kid? That gonna be the shit they can say on the internet. Like this shit is crazy.
When it all goes down. And as the internet continued to pressurize him, OGs, peers, and even people who'd normally be on his back were actually applauding Durk for not jeopardizing his whole life when he was the man who was in the position to keep Von's legacy alive.
Look, you see all them goddamn people out there. I don't know if they all know. I don't know if they all, Durk probably helping everybody eat. You know how many people goddamn like be fucked up because that man in jail listen to niggas on the internet. That should be crazy. I'm glad he doing what he doing, and he know what he did. He take care of his family. That's all you gotta do. Take care. I don't know if Von had kids or not, but hey, just try to look out as much as you can. That's all you can do.
Literally, what could Durk do right now today about like King Von's murder? Nothing except slide for him
positively. Exactly.
Shit. Little Durk grab his Draco and just go, I don't know, shoot some niggas up that he felt like or had anything to do with, with Von's death. Should he go do that today?
That's what some decent percentage of fans on the internet actually think. That he should torch his own career and life. He already has a case. I mean, he's insanely famous. The idea that he should do that. And the fact that the fans feel like they have the right to feel that way about him.
What? Yeah, they don't. Nothing you could do to bring Von back, but he should go slide with his. Why should he do that when he can use his platform to keep Von's name alive, right? Service Von's memory, and also keep going upward as an artist and as a father and as a boyfriend or husband to whoever, whatever title he is to his girlfriend. It's like
another man who advocated for Durk to keep the bloodshed down to a minimum was Charleston White, who we covered in a video that dropped about a month ago. And while he did initially start to go viral for constantly dissing King Von and other fallen rappers as well, he thought that it was up to Durk to safeguard his career.
Him and Von was partners. He lose Von, then he lose his brother.
Yep.
Do I get to mourn? Can I process my grief? Or do y'all want me to throw my life away?
Exactly.
Y'all want me to crash out and come back down there with y'all so y'all can talk about me.
Exactly.
I can't win with y'all. I can't win. This is a lose-lose situation that the fans want to put the rappers in.
Absolutely.
Now, these perspectives were all from outsiders, and if you asked any of the apparent Chiracology experts, they would all assume that O-Block were angered at Durk for not doing dirt for Von. But that doesn't look like it's the case, as in an interview, Buka600 of OTF said that whatever social media thinks should be irrelevant to Durk.
You don't deal with it.
But like
these is people. Nah, if you letting some little snotty nose at home using their mama phone tell you to do some shit and that shit getting to you, you crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody don't dictate no paces. Like this for all the fans. If you watch, you don't dictate no paces. Nobody ain't listening to you. Talking about go do some shit that's gonna get them 500 years. Like,
and then niggas gonna know.
They finna come tell you, yeah, I slid. You ain't got $2 in your pocket. You can't send me shit if I tell you I did.
Amid all the hate sent his way, Durk has stayed strong to his commitment to Von, even though he's gone. When O-Block went up for sale in April of 2021, Durk pledged to be the one to save it, saying that he'll buy it no matter how much it cost. Elsewhere, he's continued to fly the flag for Von's legacy and defend his name from any slander. But in addition to repping him, there have been hints that maybe Durk did get revenge for Von in his own way, and he just had a good sense to not incriminate himself for it. That's because on May 23rd, 2023, Academics released a podcast with Lil Durk, where he literally asked him if he gets tired of seeing all the slide for Von comments.
You're not triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, that song was fire. I ain't gonna lie.
After pausing for a brief moment, Durk changed the entire vibe of the room, where he implied that he already did slide for Von, in a way that he didn't want to reveal anything that can possibly lock him up.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot? They kind of chilled out a little bit. I don't know why.
This led to tons of conspiracies about what Lil Durk was alluding to when he said this. So did Lil Durk actually do it? Did he really slide for Von? Well, although nothing has been confirmed, this isn't the only time in the past year that Durk has said that he might have greenlit something on Von's behalf. Just check out these bars from his verse on Nardo Wick's Who Want the Smoke.
Be on my page like Slap for Von, I know they trolling me. Outside with y'all big homie, be on, I keep the folks with me.
These bars are pretty vague, but it wasn't. On the same track, he declared, better do what Nardo said, cause dudes die for pumping gas. And immediately, fans thought this might be a reference to an attempted shooting of Quando at a gas station in August of 2022, which led to a 20-year-old man by the name of Lil Pab being killed, where Durk even sampled Quando crying at the scene over his dead friend. Now, this is a precarious position for Durk to put himself into, as he seemed to insinuate that he had something to do with it. With so much on the line, this is a dangerous move, especially in light of recent events such as Young Thug and YSL being locked up on RICO charges. However, one thing we do know is that even if Durkio actually slid, he won't ever confirm it online like so many other Chicago rappers because he has so much to lose. He even tweeted this, the goal is not to go to jail, so y'all will never see me do tough shit on here to look street. I am the streets. Obviously, this is just a case of joining up the dots, and even if O-Block did claim revenge, there's nothing to say that Durk was actively involved. But what we do know is that at every bump in the road, he will still ride for Von and misses him to this day. Now 3 years on from Von's untimely passing, people are beginning to realize that Durk is a hip-hop superstar with an empire to oversee. So rather than going on a killing...
That was a good video, but, you know, niggas, I'm glad he doing the right thing, you know. Don't be doing all that crazy shit on the internet, so... I'm quite sure them niggas know that, but he doing the right thing, you know. Keep your head up, keep doing what you're doing, and hey, that's all you can do. But if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace.